Okay. Well, this is really an impromptu video. I guess if you came here through social media, through the post that I've created, then I suppose you can guess that, I'm just doing this to distress myself right now. This is a non-professional, non-rehearsed video, so um, not everything is gonna be perfect. Anyway, I know the angle here is not the best. I am actually just let me see if I can adjust the screen. Okay. Okay, I know the angle is not good, so what the hell? Okay. Okay. Wow, so much junk here. Just think. Sorry, I know it's shaking around a bit because I'm trying to adjust the. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, since I'm gonna be talking about this, I just want to say thanks to the guys at Silicon Labs for actually sending me this. Anyway, I'm just going to adjust it and talk about the hardware first instead. Okay. Sorry, that's the problem when I do impromptu videos. I don't rehearse. So I'm not really prepared. So if you are watching this by random chance, any random chance, just know that I never practiced. So anyway, okay, let me just get that out of the way. So this the TinyGecko development board that the team, the product manager Mark at Silicon Labs sent to me. Basically, I've actually requested for quite a number of products from their range. Basically, to have a good coverage, you see. So at least that way, when I want to plan the lab series later on, I would actually have enough products in the range to do a proper curricular design and planning. But yeah, they so far they just sent me two TinyGecko development boards, which is probably enough for me to just play around and have some fun with it. But it's definitely not very constructive in helping me to develop a proper lab series, a professional lab series. But yeah, I was just basically feeling stressed financially at the moment. I'm just going through a really bad day earlier today. Well, technically, here in Singapore, it's already tomorrow for some of you, but yeah, earlier yesterday for me, it has been a quite a challenging day, and I just needed to get my mind off thinking about what I'm stressed about, which is money, to just talk about something that I'm interested in and just take my mind off it. Yeah. So anyway, this is a 32-bit development board. It has, I believe, there's temperature sensor because it uses the uh, ARM Cortex M3, I believe. So there is a built-in temperature sensor. Let me look it up online. package. Anyway, I'm just trying to look up the product right now to look at the specifications. You know, what the specs. TG. Okay. So I think this is the one with 128 kilobytes flash, 32 kilobytes of RAM, and it should be correct. Um, it's actually under the TinyGecko 11 starter kit. I hope I didn't get it wrong. Um, I know that I don't have very good camera capabilities to focus, so I'm just trying to look at the chipset, at least the microcontroller or the processor to figure out what it has. But yeah, okay, so it actually has the display on, which is something that I've never used before with other development boards, which I really like. It's something new for me to play with, that's for sure. So this display is quite cool. There is a coin cell battery slot, so you can actually power it with a coin cell battery. I got this coin cell battery from the one of the what is that RTC modules that I bought from Adafruit a while back. So they came with the coin cell battery. I think, uh, or was this from some other kit? I can't remember. But anyway, they have this, which I really like because I don't have to plug in another battery pack, which is quite bulky. And the fact that it allows you to use a coin cell battery uh, definitely shows that this development board actually has the potential to drain very little power. And if it drains very little power by using a coin cell battery, then I would say that its footprint is really very small, which is perfect for IoT related projects, especially if you want to deploy your project out in the field, far away from accessibility, and you don't really want to constantly go back there to replace the battery. So I think this is actually a very good option to consider to look at. So yeah, so if uh, so they have a basic display setup, which is also quite good, which I really like. You know, quite interesting. Okay, so basically, what I need to do is actually to download the editor, which I do not have. So yeah, I know what some people might say. This whole recording is definitely very unprofessional, and the angle is not very good too. So I get it. Simplicity Studio. Hmm. So if I look at they actually have a Mac installer, which is fantastic. Okay, I'm just gonna. Oh, no, this is private. Ah, crap. Anyway, I'm just shutting down so that I can go back to the Mac environment. Okay, let's go to Silicon Labs. Oops, sorry. Um, let's look for the. I'm gonna look for the software to download. So they have a Windows installer, they have Mac installer, and Linux as well, which is something that I love because honestly, if you support all the different platforms, I mean, it's great. You know, that means I'm not restricted, and if I ever need to switch between different environments in the future, you know, I can just port the project over easily as well. So that's something really good. So I'm just gonna go ahead with the Mac installer in this case. Okay, I need to create an account. I need to put my company email, but it's temporarily suspended. So I'm just gonna use my personal email. Uh, okay, something is so weird. Oh, I need to re-enter again. I wonder. Hmm, just gonna activate the email. Seriously? Okay, it's so weird. Oh, what in the world is wrong? Oops. Anyway, if anybody is watching, I'm just trying to activate the account to download the software for Simplicity Studio by it's actually Eclipse IDE. So, uh, but yeah, it's good because it runs on multiple environments, platforms, which is great. Download. Where is the download? Okay, so I'm gonna install the Mac installer. Okay, so with my home fiber broadband, the download should be quite fast. It will take a couple of minutes. And while that is happening, I am going to go back and look at the products. So I'll just close this. Okay, let's look at this product. AFM32 TG1. So while we are waiting for the download to finish, we're just going to look at some of the specifications that are available. Uh, so here's what it says. It has a 32-bit CPU. Yeah, we know that. Here it writes Cortex M0 Plus, which I thought was supposed to be Cortex M3. But anyway, 128 kilobytes of flash, 32 kilobytes of RAM, USB connectivity, advanced energy monitor. This is interesting. I really like this. Sega J-Link onboard debugger. This is cool as well. You can make use of this together with platform IO. I'm not sure if platform IO supports J-Link. I have to double check, but I think so. So if we can work with Silicon Labs development bots with the platform IO, I think it'd be quite cool. But I have to double check on that though. So there is the Silicon Labs 7021 relative humidity and temperature sensor. There's user LEDs, push buttons. There's the inductive LC sensor. There's the Silicon Labs SI 7210 Hall effect sensor. There's a capacitive touch slider as well. There are breakout pads for direct access to I/O pins. So basically, it's actually the row of pins on top, right? This row of pins, right? Power sources include USB as well as the coin cell battery, which I was talking about earlier. I used from another kit that I had. Um, oh, cool. They actually support the IR, IAR embedded workbench, and of course, Simplicity Studio as well. So let's install Simplicity Studio. So I mean, I don't know, depending on whoever is watching this video right now, you know, have you ever worked with Silicon Labs development bots before? I mean, if you did, it'd be cool if you can share your experience with me. Kind of let me know um, what was your experience like working with these development bots, right? Now, I personally have not used Silicon Labs development bots in the past, but I have definitely used the STM32 nuclear bots because they also run on the ARM Cortex processors. Okay, let's look at the Simplicity Studio. Okay, log into my Simplicity Studio account, or at least my Silicon Labs account. Okay, they come with the cable inside the box, but I'm not going to use that because no point in me opening up so many cables. I mean, I have a lot of cables actually. So I'm just going to use what I already have. Give me a second. Now again, if you're watching this video, wherever you're from, wherever you are, just know that this is an impromptu video. It's not rehearsed. It's not practiced before. So it's definitely not a professional live streaming video. So okay, so I have basically connected. Uh, so okay. Let's see. Install by device. Have a bot connected now. Or is it because I need to install something? Ah, okay. It has finally detected the board, so it's cool. You know, you can just select the device that is connected, then click next. Okay, so basically there's a download for um, the device. I think it's probably the project related files or libraries, at least for range of boards or whatsoever. Oh, but it uses a lot of this space. Uh, I don't know. Is there a way for me to change where I want to set up all these files? Honestly, if it's on my MacBook, I have limited space. So let me just check out the settings. Okay, I honestly have no idea how to select a different destination. Uh, oh, how do I get that back? Ah, okay, yeah. Oh well, let's just give it a try and see what happens. I don't know if I get to select. I'm not very sure what is this Micrium OS. Probably have to figure it out and do some research online. Uh, hmm, no idea what it is yet. I'll figure it out. Okay, let's just proceed. So here you see all the GNU ARM toolchain. Okay, that I can understand. IAR ARM toolchain integration, IAR embedded workbench integration. Um, okay, that's pretty straightforward. So they come with a set of tool chains and tools that you can work with, tools or libraries, I believe. So and then there's the simplicity battery estimator. Quite cool. I mean, these are optional stuff. But because oh, there's so much things. Oh, that is really cool. This is really cool. Unfortunately, on my MacBook at the moment, I really do not have the space, the hard disk space to install everything that I want. So I'm just gonna go with the default settings for now. Okay, this is gonna use a lot of space on my hard disk, but I mean, never mind. It's all learning process, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the documentation while the download is happening. So this is actually the kit block diagram, which I thought is quite handy and useful. It tells you about how the different parts of the module work together, like the from the USB mini B connector to your board controller. Okay, so there is actually the debug and UART, which we know if you are familiar with Arduino or Raspberry Pi and so on. Usually the USB UART is the primary means of communication when you want to debug and test certain things. And then of course you have the EF M32TG11 MCU. This is something that is quite familiar to for me, especially because I worked with the STM32 nuclear boards before, and they actually have their own MCU as well. You know, like for example the STM32 F411RE, right? So They actually use the Cortex F4, but basically they have their own memory sizes. The flash size is different and so on. So there is the I squared C Hall effect sensor, as well as the temperature humidity sensor. So I'm just looking at the display. I'm also trying to figure out where. Okay. So I'm just going to move the phone down to show you the development board itself, and I'm going to explain what is on the development board. Okay, I'm going to shift a little. Okay, so over here you can see that we have the 7210. I think the 7210 is the let's see, Hall effect sensor. All right, and then over here we have the LC sensor, and over here we have the humidity and temperature sensor right at the top. So they are all on board, which is great. This is the touch capacitive display, so you can I don't know if it works now, probably not, but you have to program it. And then we have the buttons. You have the reset button here. Yeah. So basically, this switch here allows you to switch between whether you want to run on a battery mode or I think currently AEM. Okay, I'm not big on acronyms, so I'm not very sure what AEM means, but I think it probably means running from the USB. So there are other pinouts available at the top and bottom. So I think this is where I can spend time later or tomorrow or whenever I feel like I want to de-stress myself. I'll probably do some soldering of the pin headers. Okay, so I am going to move back to the documentation. So you can see here, basically the LC sensor. Oh, so sorry, the Hall effect and temperature humidity uses I2C. For the capacitive touch, I think there's a specific channel that they use that can be used. Um, then you have the GPIO as well. So, by the way, to the guys at Silicon Labs, if you're actually checking out this video, just want to say, great work on the documentation. I have seen so much documentation created by so many manufacturers and makers in the market. Um, Honestly, I think that Silicon Labs has done it one level better for the documentation. It's really high quality. It's not blurry. It's really, how would I say? It embodies excellence. So yeah, that's what I want to say. Okay, so here we have a lot of things that we were showing earlier: the Hall effect sensor, inductive LC, backup capacitor, the expansion header, which we will use for projects and so on. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Let's see if the download. Okay, well, the download is almost done, I think. Okay, so here we have digital pins, I believe. Um, and then A14. I think these are the analog pins. A12. Yeah, these are probably the analog pins. So the board is 3.3 volts and 5 volts compatible, 5 volts capable. So this is good. I kind of like the idea of having a board that supports both 3.3 volts and 5 volts, especially if you look at some of the Arduino boards like I think Arduino Due, for one, uses 3.3 volts. So before I say anything wrong, I need to check the output. Power, power, power. Okay. I don't see anything on it here. Hmm. I probably have to find the information somewhere else. Oh, but anyway, probably good to mention the speed of the processor, runs up to 48 megahertz, which is fairly good. It's definitely faster than the 60 megahertz that we use for Arduino Uno, for example. So it's definitely a good alternative and option if you want to work on some projects that require a bit more processing power as compared to your standard Arduino Uno. Yeah. Anyway, if you're watching this, yeah, you should know that I'm doing this simply because I'm feeling stressed and I can't sleep. So when I cannot sleep, I would stay up and I would do impromptu live videos. So that's me. That's Sherman. So in the future, if you see me sharing posts online about impromptu videos, you know that I probably have difficulty sleeping. Okay, it's restarting, so let's just wait for it. But let's see if we can find the information about the voltage of the output pin. Uh, mm, if you're watching this, do help me to Google. Let me know if you can find any information regarding the voltage, the maximum voltage supplied for the digital pins. I'm just trying to figure out what's the maximum output voltage because I don't see it on the datasheet documentation. Okay, anyway, I'm actually seeing the Simplicity Studio for the first time, so yeah, I never used it before. I honestly have no idea what to do with it at this point, but let's just go along. Okay. Okay, so okay, as it turns out, you need to select your debug adapter. You need to select your product first before you can create a new project. Hmm. Sorry, I am. Hmm? I didn't install the right device. Oh, seriously. Okay, I'm obviously I'm obviously confused. I have no idea what I need to do now. How do you register a kit? I probably have to figure this out before the actual lab series. It's a good thing that I only have plans to kick off the Silicon Labs lab series probably in July because I would need time to plan out the curricula anyway, and I probably need time to get all their products as well. I thought I selected the right device, but somehow I can't seem to work with the product. I'm just going to try a couple of things until I feel kind of tired and want to go and sleep. So I have to say that I really appreciate the form factor of the development board. It's in a shape that is can be easily fit into a nice rectangular box, enclosure. Mm. Okay, I probably have to go and do some reading up documentation, right, to figure out what I need to do because I'm obviously lost and confused, and I haven't figured out what to do yet. Okay, anyway, I'll just end the session here. Sorry if you have been watching this and it's been a total waste of your time. Please forgive me for that. But yeah, I'm just feeling stressed, and I actually never expect people to watch live anyway or to watch the replay. After this video, I'm probably going to delete it anyway because it's just really for myself to relieve my stress. But yeah, thanks for watching. You know, whoever had watched, I really appreciate the audience. All right, bye, good night.